listening to Kayak Adventure Series. Kayak Adventure Series. This is where you choose your own adventure. You want to be offshore. You want to be shallow. You want to go up the creek. You want to have a kayak that is sophisticated. Or a kayak that is simple. You get to choose your own adventure. Oh, looky there. That's a micro bag. I hope you brought the family. This is going to be wild. Hey, this adventure is going to be amazing.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I direct your attention to something quite extraordinary.
You are listening to Kayak Adventure Series. Kayak Adventure Series.
All right. What's up, Jake?
Just living life, man. Going through all these drone clips.
I don't know what's going on with these controls. I miss Billy there a little bit.
Yeah, I can't stop it once it goes too, because you were the one that played it. There's like a little loop track thing. You got to make sure it's unchecked.
I know. I just had it going on a different tab on Instagram as well, so I'm hearing it twice, and I'm like, what's going on? Did it stop? Did it not stop? It's complicated, guys. It's complicated. It's behind the scenes stuff that it's neither here nor there for you guys watching. But at the very beginning, no one's watching at the beginning of the live, so have to have a little filler. So I think I may have just ended the live on Instagram. Maybe not. No, it says I'm live still. Okay, so I think I'm good. But how's it going, man? Have you recovered from the Wisconsin Riverfest that was?
Yeah, I honestly never really felt that worn out from that. It was close to me. I mean, it was only like 320 miles. So like I woke up Sunday morning and just drove home and went to soccer practice. And
yeah,
I'd say it was more tiring to come home.
That's pretty. Yeah, for sure. The kids.
It was nice to
family.
sleep still.
Yeah.
So, it was crazy how cold it was up there, though. Like, it definitely one of those like false falls, because if you look at the weather now up there, it's like back to just like 80s.
Yeah.
So, kind of
wild.
Yeah,
it's crazy. It was like a false fall. But welcome in, guys. Lines in. I want to thank Raccoon Creek Outfitters here, because we switch our logo for always being our supporting headline sponsor of the lives and the podcast. So appreciate that from Raccoon Creek Outfitters. Looks like Dustin and his crew had a good time at this event. So that was pretty cool. I saw his recap post, but hey, everyone had a good time at this event. If you've seen all the stuff online, I've seen so many pictures and videos and recap just saying how much fun everyone had. That's the idea.
I got a lot of messages from people saying, "Oh, I wish I would have fished that one. Like I was up there and I didn't fish it." Or like I had a couple guys that were in the other tournament message me. It's like, "Oh, I was in the one. I should have fished it. I would have cashed a check." And I'm like, "Well, we were saying from the get-go
it was going to be good.
Be a good one." So,
yep.
And it's crazy. Like it was packed. Like this event was packed. Like the awards, we had so many people there. We had to have at least. I mean, so many people that just weren't even in the event showed up to the festival. Like, we'll show some footage of that, which was the crazy part.
I'd say that in that bowling alley, it looked like, because we did our result, it looked like there was like 125-ish people. I thought 125, 150. It was a lot.
Yeah, standing room only. Felt kind of bad for the people in the back, but hey, they had the best views.
Yeah, for sure. And
it was crazy too, with like the videos played on the entire bowling alley. So like you had the three main monitors, right? And then at every single lane, the video played. So it was
really cool.
It was crazy.
I wish someone
the audio wasn't
a reel. But yeah, like a reel of the whole, like a swirl around of the whole bowling alley and all the people. Someone out there's got to have a good shot of that. But anyway, it was fun. It's been wild, getting back. I'm kind of recovering. Whenever I get done with these trips, I'm telling you, my stuff sits in the back of my truck for days. It's still there. I still haven't unloaded it. I'm exhausted, like I'm just spent mentally, emotionally. I'm working hard on getting that recap article, which we're going to go over that recap article and show it to you guys on the site. You guys can go read it on your own, but it's up. You guys can read all about it. There's quotes from the anglers. I worked closely with Hank to put that together. He writes it, and I go back in, add photos and a lot of little extracurricular stuff. So, and then today there's an inmate that escaped around here. So schools were like on lockdown and stuff. And some guy was cleaning trash in his yellow jumpsuit and just decided to go all Harrison Ford in the Fugitive movie. I'm out of here, sort of like bounce.
He really wanted to get that Omnia tackle for trash.
I guess so. Working hard for the tackle for trash gift card. That's true. But all is good. They eventually caught him. I found out. We just heard they caught him. So all is good. But yeah, I was like, man, what's this guy trying to like escape and improve? It reminded me of that Fugitive movie for sure. If you ever saw that classic, but Harrison Ford escapes and has to like prove that he didn't kill his wife, and he eventually does. And anyway, it all is good now here in the Northeast Ohio area. So that was your Sunline lines in news and notes. I mean, not a lot of news and notes, but we have a few.
For Broodstock.
Yep, sign up for Broodstock. Actually, just made a banner about that. So there it is. Kick it.
And I know one thing we wanted to talk about with that is like it is not a championship per se. It's just the last event essentially. So like even if you're not like, let's say you didn't chase AOY this year, you still should sign up. It's going to be an awesome event. We've got some cool water inbounds too, and it's water that I'm familiar with because my parent or my grandparents live inbounds.
Mm-hmm.
Like literally, I was looking at the map and I was like, okay, well, where's that at? And they're literally 40 minutes from the event. So it's like, I was thinking about it. I was like, man, some of this water that I'm pretty familiar with is actually inbounds, which is crazy. I didn't realize just like how close everything was. So
yeah, it's going to be a good one. I realized when we got off that last live talking about Broodstock that we really emphasized that new body of water that no one knew was coming, that Peabody WMA, quite a bit. And while that was kind of the new,
I fished that, by the way.
Have you?
Yeah. So I asked my grandparent or my grandpa about it, and I was like, "Is this the place you took me when I was like 12?" And he's like, "Yeah, that's the one." And we actually got stuck back in there, and I had to like help him push the truck out.
That's funny.
All those memories, man.
Yeah, that's gonna bring back some memories for you. That's gonna be cool. And then we really forgot to highlight and mention how those rivers and creeks and the other lakes, how good those are as well. But we'll get into it as next week we really start pushing towards Broodstock hard. We'll talk about it again. But the rivers and creeks there and the lakes are really, really good fishing the bigger lakes. And the wildlife management area, the Peabody we talked about, we really don't know much about that. So we kind of focused on that question mark more than we did the stuff that we know is really good. So it's going to be exciting, guys. It's going to be a fun one. We'll see how it all shakes out. But today, I mean, unless you have another news and note that you can think of, I don't really know. Can't really think of any main things.
I mean, do we want to talk about the updated AOY? I don't really think too much changed, but
yeah, but that can be kind of, I think, part of we could definitely pull it up, part of the main event here where we just talk about this, Wisconsin Riverfest. We show some new pictures and videos we have for you guys to share. Thank you so much for sending those in. So yeah, let's just get into the main event and we can start sharing some of that stuff and actually I'll share my, I guess, and I'll start pulling my screen and you guys can see the recap here. So go check it out, guys. It's as you can see, to the galleries right here, the photo galleries, if you want to see if we happen to get any shots of you out there on the water. I mean, some epic drone shots, which we'll share maybe some of these videos, but we got some cool.
Yeah, I know a lot of just to make a note, a lot of people reached out to me about getting these drone shots. Give me some time. These files are massive and like it's not easy to just. I think I have 6 people who asked for this footage, so. That's actually Ryan Parker, our current leading angler.
That is Ryan Parker, yeah.
Yeah.
you know,
That
that
shot right
sandbar
there is
drop.
really cool. Yeah.
I can make this full screen. Look at that. Oh, I love this shot. I mean,
yeah, I pulled that from one of our videos. And I was just like, dude, this is like, and I made this joke while I was fishing the river. I was like, oh, it feels like I'm like in the movie Dune, because it's like you're just out there in the sand and like you're getting stuck on these sandbars and like,
yep,
it's all swirled and like,
it's pretty
man,
wild.
and instead of the big worms coming out of the sand, you get giant smallmouth.
Giant smallmouth for sure. The yeah, that was I don't even remember that movie, but I know what you're talking about. I've seen stuff from it, but I've never I don't think I've ever actually seen it. I don't think so. But anyway, this is taking forever, so sorry. I'll not go full screen with the next ones. But there we go. There's that cool shot. That's just how a lot of the river looks. I mean, just a ton of it. But you can see.
Well, you see that hole right
some of those
there.
Fish definitely get. Yeah, there's a hole right there.
Like
There's some
facing
cuts.
the kayak there.
Mm-hmm.
You see how like that
Yep.
the current is dropping off that main like little thing right in front of him. That's like where those fish were sitting. Yeah, it's like they would get like underneath it like that, and it was essentially like a plunge pool, I guess is the best way to describe it. And it's like they would sit there and they would face it. So like they would go in the where it gets calmer and they would face it. And if you threw those baits into the current, just let it like drift down. That's how I caught that big one I caught, was just in those plunge pools. But I mean,
yeah. And then this shot here, Brad Hicks here, you know, catching that big smallie on a glide bait. There's also, so you have the sand, but then you've also got sections of the river that had these incredible like bluff walls.
Yeah.
Really unique, man. This is such a unique and cool fishery.
Yeah. The further north,
and then you had areas of the lake like this.
Yeah. The further north you went, the more bluffy and rocky sections you could find. Further south, the sandier it got. But I mean, there was also like sections that were really woody and had a lot of vegetation.
Yep. Beautiful bluff shot there. Back to Scrivener. So yeah, a wild and fun place for sure. Cannot wait to get back up there one of these days. But you can see we cover this, you know, really, really well. Very thorough with quotes from the anglers. You know, Hank gets those together and does a great job with these articles. And who did you say sent this photo in again? We got to give them credit. Levi
Burlington.
I'm not sure what he took that with, but looks like a nice camera. Looks like he took it with a nice camera. It's a great shot. There's Scrivener with his big largemouth. You know, Iko and Eric.
An awesome story. And it's funny, like a lot of people thought I was a lot of people found it to be a little bit tricksy, but typically what we do is when we put the totals in there, we put their biggest fish next to their name. Well, he caught the biggest fish, like he had big bass of the tournament. Well, for his actual splash pad thing, I put the largemouth in there, and everyone's like, wait a second, didn't he catch like a big 21-incher on the first day? And everyone's confused, but I knew there had to be a story why he had this giant largemouth on there. So like he told that story, which was crazy, that he just caught it in the smallmouth area. And then it's like, boom, actually he had this smallmouth too. So it was like exactly like what we expected out of these rivers, where it was like a tug of war between smallmouth and largemouth. Obviously the smallmouth won, but
yeah, it was. And but I mean, the largemouth was in his limit, and he so it played a big part, still a little part. And then we also have video of this we're going to show you guys. He sent in some video of his catches. So Jordan up there representing his team, where the muskie's at with Christine Fisher, since she had to leave early. Our second place team had to leave a little early too, so we didn't get a picture of them, but there's third place team, Jeff and Josh. So you guys read the article. You know, microbag winner, Benjamin Wagner. So it was pretty.
And it's funny, John Dalton got second.
John Dalton, yep.
Second in the micro bag. And I was joking with him before the tournament. I was like, dude, you need to get second because you already got a first. So if you got a second,
start collecting.
It goes a little bit higher. And now he's got to get a third, and he'll have 1, 2, 3.
2 and 3. He'll have all 3 of those little micro trophies. There's Oliver Lee, Elvis Lee. Oliver won the youth. And we have a cool video we're going to show of him too. So I can't remember this guy's name, but he won the raffle kayak from Feel Free. Thanks again to Feel Free for donating that kayak and being our official kayak manufacturer sponsor of this event. So we raised a good amount of money for pediatric cancer. Yeah.
The tackle
Oh, it's very cool, and I love the way that color looked. Charcoal is really nice. We had the Omnia Tackle for Trash winner here, and it was pretty cool. Dustin Thurn, he got that barrel out of the river, so that was awesome to see that barrel taken out of the river and into the dumpster where it belongs. The Bash U brunch was epic. I mean, look, had huge crowds there.
That was probably the biggest one. One of the biggest ones we've done.
Yeah, about 35, 40 people were there.
And we had to actually bring in extra chairs. It was so great.
Yeah, this place we stayed was really cool too. These Rustic Ridge cabins. Really cool. But yeah, and there's your update on AOI and Team of the Year. And we've got all these photos, guys. Go through them, check them out, share them, tag us, tag at Kayak Adventure Series and at GoPro. You can check out all the photos from the awards, on the water, off the water. So,
and this doesn't even break the iceberg on like what we captured. Like we got so much more. Just a lot. limited time to get them up timely. So if there's something that you know exists and you want it, send us a message and I'll see if I can get you some of that stuff.
Yeah. JT saying best weekend ever. I mean, we'll get into his weekend. That was pretty epic. And Elvis Lee saying he and Oliver had an amazing time.
That story was crazy, man. Oliver and Elvis. Like it was just the fact that they both put up like, over 80. Obviously Elvis cashed a check too while out there with his son. Like imagine if he wasn't out there. I'm sure that he would have it no other way. That's that's not what I'm saying, but like it's crazy. Like I can't imagine taking my 11-year-old out there. It's like
I know, that was amazing. That was incredible. So yeah, we will. What's up, Dwayne? What's up, Ryan? Luke? I see all the guys out there commenting here. There we go. JT again. He's not tired of looking at big smallies. We'll show off his here soon. Let's do it. Let's start getting into some of these. Luke's already talking about bringing the heat to broodstock. Let's get into sharing some of these videos. Actually, while I'm thinking about it, I could share that video of. There's two videos I want to share that I've got. Let me start with this one of the Wisconsin Riverfest festival, because man, this was like my dream right here, guys. Check this out. Just everyone having a good time, play with the games, play in the bounce house. Checking out the kayaks, doing kayak demos, Toyota trucks. Check it. There's a look at the brewery where we had our opening ceremonies. Right there, all right on the water.
Dude, that orange 4Runner was sick.
Yeah.
By the way.
Yeah, that was sick. The coolest thing, man, just like I said, that video is just see it now. That's with probably 3/4 of you guys inside the bowling alley and pizzeria getting food right then. But just seeing that many people out there hanging out, having fun, everything was being checked out. Everything. People were looking at the Ubco bike. People were checking out the Toyota trucks. People were, kids were jumping in the bounce house. People were checking out the Feel Free kayaks that Feel Free brought. The Basquatch hunter, Mike McKinstry, they're checking out his booth. He was sharing with them about it, his children's book and all the stuff that he does with his show and everything. People were doing kayak demos. As you saw, I got a video of that lady that did a kayak demo. It was awesome, man. It was so cool. They're just playing yard games with the Revel round. It was a really good time. And
it's just too bad we didn't have, we had another kayak dealer not be able to make it. It's like we keep having bad luck with that, because it would have been awesome to have even more kayaks there, because I guarantee you people would have taken them out.
That's true. There are a lot of moving parts with these events. So those of you that don't know this, what happened, we actually had Kevin from Rocktown Adventures came up with all the kayaks, and he was going to have, brands, the Crescent, all the brands that he carries. I don't know if it's Crescent, New Canoe, Bonafide, whatever, all the other brands that sponsor us. And he literally was fishing on Friday, having a good time. He was excited. and a jig went back and flew and hit him in the eye when he pulled it out or something. I don't know the whole story. He texted me, hit him in the eye. He had to go to the hospital. It was there till 3:30 a.m. And so he ended up not being able to even come back and be a part of the event. Another crazy story. You guys didn't hear this. Sean Ritter, he had his truck literally roll into the lake. And they had to and it rolled over his leg, right? And it rolled over his leg into the lake.
Yeah, so he didn't end up breaking anything. He just sprained his ankle, I believe is what he said, and had a little bit of bleeding. But I reached out to him, because he had called us when it happened. It's like, hey, bring the drone down here and get some footage. And I was like, I don't know, man. It feels like, kind of like dancing on the grave type thing. But he seemed like he was in good spirits. But if you watch his recap, he talked about it a little bit about how actually what happened is like, he slipped out of his truck because his kayak, I think his kayak slid out, and he was like, oh crap. And then I guess he slipped looking back at it, and his truck rolled in after it, rolled over his leg. But the crazy part is he had to jump in to the water to get his phone.
That's
wild.
To
go get his phone, to call 911.
Right.
And I'm sure that whole thing was super stressful. So it sounds like the truck was a total loss too. So
yeah.
He seemed like he was in good spirits after, and it seems like he's taking it in stride now, which, it's great to see. But I still just felt bad, on my level, when he told us about it, I was like, because I don't want someone to come to the event and have, that sort of thing happen. I wanted him to be out there having fun. I was excited to finally get a chance to talk to him at awards. And
I know that was such a bummer. That's the craziest thing we've had. The most wild story I think we've had at any event. We've had some wild ones. I mean, we had flood in Susquehanna. People's vehicles were almost, flooded when they came back. But this guy's vehicle, literally rolled into the lake, and they had to tow it out. That's insane. It sank to the bottom. They had to tow it out. That's wild. And it rolled over his leg. So, Sean, get well soon, buddy. Sorry we missed you, but glad you're okay. So I'm just going to get this one out of the way if it's cool with you, because we were just talking about Elvis and Ollie. Yeah, and this was, I wish we had
this. Link to Sean's Instagram here too, if you guys want to watch the video.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, does he have it on video on his Instagram? Yeah.
He did a whole video kind of talking about it, and he showed pictures of his truck underwater, and I was like,
oh wow, we might have to show that. Which we should pull up Christine's Instagram too. I know we don't have a video sent directly from her, but she did post a reel of her big 20 3/4, whatever it was, 20.5 inch smallie. So
20.5.
Pull that. Yeah, 20.5. So, but this is Ollie right here, Oliver, crushing it, catching a big bass in the Wisconsin River. And Elvis, man, what a cool thing he did.
Dude, that's a big one.
Bringing his son in this event.
Is it? Okay, Nick, come on, get your net ready.
Dude, Oliver's my hero, man.
Yeah, look at this.
Okay, get your net ready. Get your net ready.
Like you said, it's not easy to take.
Oh, you need that. Come on, get it in. Oh, dude, that's a good one.
Fishing, begin with, then you're going to try to fish your own tournament.
Ready. What are you doing?
And manage
get your net ready.
Your son. That's pretty cool that he sacrificed a little bit of his own.
Dude, he had that net in the perfect spot.
Yeah, he did. He's
made
doing
it look
great.
like it was a really big fish. I mean, it's a decent fish.
It is a shout out to Feel Free. I mean, he's in a Feel Free too. So another.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, these guys are in Feel Free. So that's cool.
Oh, that's sick.
They were the, the kayak manufacturer for the event. So that's perfect.
Oh yeah, it's a Moken.
I wish I would have known. See, if this would have been played on the stage at the theater, we could have
swoop it in. Got it.
Started them out. So.
I'm curious what he's using there. Look like maybe a Cinco.
I don't know.
Maybe that was a secret. Tell. A lot of people cash checks to Cincos, man.
Yeah, maybe. But nice job, Oliver. Let me. How do you get that off the screen? I don't even know where.
I got it.
You got it. All right. So let's share some clips. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna share some clips. If you guys, Eric Scrivener won the individual division, the Torpedo individual, and Elvis said it was a Ned rig. So.
Oh, okay.
And then
hey, I caught my big one on a Ned, weedless Ned thing too. So it sounds like small stuff was the play.
He said there's Ronald saying it looks like his kayak. So a lot of love for our presenting kayak manufacturer of the event. Elvis said that's his cleanup bait. So they clean up follow up with that bait.
Feel Free tends to get they don't get a lot of, they're kind of less talked about in the kayak world, and I saw them in person, and honestly I really liked that Moken.
They were nice.
They
were nice boats. It was,
I bet you it's fast too.
Looked fast for sure. So we definitely wouldn't bring anybody on board if it's not a kayak that we think you guys would enjoy and people are enjoying them. And, just like all of our sponsors, be it, New Canoe, Bonafide, Crescent, Old Town, all the great companies that, supported us this year. We appreciate it. And we're going to continue that next year, try to celebrate the diversity of all the different kayak manufacturers and brands out there and have those at our demos as well. So, let's see. What's up, Matt? He's going to try to make an event next year. I hope so, man. You can still make Broodstock. It's an open finale, October 4th and 5th. But yeah, we'll look forward to seeing you next year for sure. So let's see here. What do you want to start with?
Let's start with this one here. Let's start with this one. This is so this is the bass raft, and he's fishing. I think that this is a really cool concept because it kind of reminds me of like the Flip Cat, which our buddy Ryan has, which you guys might have seen. But this is a thing. He's 20 years old and he is manufacturing his own line of watercraft. And this is him out there fishing on it in the lake, and you can see he's got an XI3 on the front. But what really is crazy about this platform is look how much space he has.
Yeah, it's just a wide, stable platform, and it folds up.
There we go.
Yeah, so it's basically like two little like outriggers that fold down.
Look at that, nice catch. Every nice little boat flip there.
This time.
I mean, essentially with how kayaks are getting so wide and big, it's becoming, kayak fishing is just becoming a small watercraft sort of thing. We approved this watercraft before, and he came to us. We did approve it, but the interesting thing is we are going to, in the off season, going to have to make decisions on, officially what is, a kayak considered, like in these tournaments, what's not. We allow canoes and kayaks and essentially other small similar watercraft, but we probably need to figure, and I'm not just saying we as the Kayak Adventure Series, I say we like Bassmaster and Hobie and KBF and everyone just need to come up.
They allow the Blue Sky. And
it's basically the same width as a Blue Sky and same. It's, these new boats like the XTR from Bonafide. That's a mini little boat. I mean, nothing different than a lot of the specs aren't much different than a real wide New Canoe or a Hobie PA or something like that. A Titan. I mean, they're just giant. Those are rotomolded by a kayak manufacturer. And this one here is made a little bit differently by this guy. So where do we sort of draw the line? That's going to be an interesting wintertime discussion with all of the tournament directors. I'm positive that will come up this year with all the buzz that XTR got. But in my mind, it's like, I want to include as much as possible so we can have more people in our sport and enjoy it. And if it doesn't give anyone a crazy different advantage, but at the same time, there it is. The fast rep.
Here's the website. I mean, I think it's cool personally. I don't really think there's a huge advantage over a kayak. Like, it's just different, It's like
it's different. Yeah.
Look at that on top of the car. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm. It's just a different little thing. So,
and he's working hard on this. He's a young man that's come up with his own concept, and he car tops that on literally that car you just saw.
Yep.
So,
yeah, it's cool. I mean, it really is. So, we'll see what all we end up approving, and how do we make the decisions on, the word kayaks in it? Is it all of a sudden just you could, what I mean? It can't just be the word kayaks is in it, because then someone can rotomold a giant 17-foot, 50-something inch wide, and same specs as like a bass boat. And they put the word kayak in it, all of a sudden means we approve it. I don't think so. I think we have to put some sort of specs, kind of like I don't know if it was the best decision but Bassmaster did put a limitation on the number of inches, so you could do some sort of combination between your number of inches on your width and your length can't be over a certain amount. So if you want something to be shorter and wider, cool. That's on you. That's your decision. If you want something to be longer and skinnier, then that's something like that. Maybe it could be the solution. But it's very interesting. So we'll see. JT's kind of chiming in saying, it's the same dimensions as all those other ones. I mean, it is. It's just not.
I don't think the XTRs. I don't think the XTRs flack. It got. I don't know if flack's the right word, but it got a lot of pushback. I don't think it was fair, having seen it in person. is a really well thought out fishing platform that like you can still paddle if you needed to. Like it's not like you're paddling a John boat. Like it's still, you know, it's still a kayak, but it's taking that leap. Now, is it for everyone? No, I probably necessarily wouldn't want one, but it's still cool. Like I like innovation. I think we shouldn't be like, you know, pushing away innovation like that. So,
and I also think that if it's not really giving you any advantage over any of the other quote unquote kayaks out there, because you can stand on the bow of like this XPR of a new canoe. It
enables the style, you know. It's like,
I mean, it just gets more people into the sport. Essentially, what it's doing is we're kind of merging with that Tiny Boat Nation group. Tiny Boat Nation and kayak fishing are sort of like it'd be, in my mind, we'd be powerful if we were all together, because there's no advantage gained with those little boats because we don't allow outboards, right? So, you know, that would be the only advantage. Oh, that one you could put an outboard on, but you can't in these series. So as long as we keep that limitation there, then I think we're good to kind of at least allow some of this other stuff to kind of creep in, and it gives us a little bit more support. Maybe, who knows, maybe one of these other companies will you know, jump on board, sponsor and donate a kayak for, you know, our charity for next year, or even that broodstock. There's still a chance for someone to donate one to raffle off for charity there. Yeah. So, but let's show another clip. Let's just keep it rolling.
Yeah, this one is this is Nicholas Burns, who he did cash a check.
Oh yeah, this was cool. He cashed a check. This is a really cool catch. He's holding himself there, that bow mount.
That hooked that, man.
Oh yeah.
He was confident. He knew it.
Man, that was awesome.
He's a fellow Illinois guy.
Yeah.
He came from Chicago.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
And he's on the main river, I'm pretty sure. And it's interesting, you know, look at his rig there. He's fishing more of your traditional, you know, you would almost say it's like a lake style kayak. You know, he's standing up and fishing his style, and he's doing well at it.
The bow mounts worked pretty good on that river, I noticed, because
surprised.
You spot lock a lot, and the sand is the main stuff that's there, not rocks. So you're not, you know, the bow mount, the issue in those rivers that are real shallow is you hit rocks, and all of a sudden it could rip off the bow, or you could fall down and knock you out of the boat.
With the sand, you're just like,
but with the sand, it just kind of slows. Yeah, it's not such a painful hit, and then it allows you to spot lock and fish some of those spots. So I think it worked out well. A lot of guys had that, so that was interesting. Great catch.
And truthfully, like, I never had to get out a single time, and I fished a really sandy section. So if you're smart about it, you don't have to get out in the sand. Like,
read the water. Yeah. You know, it's a shame that Elvis, and this isn't like throwing shade at he had a lot going on with the sun and everything, but Elvis and Nick here, see, these are the clips we would love to have had at the awards, because Elvis came on stage, Oliver was on stage, Nick here came on stage. Like, we could have showed that clip at the bowling alley on the stage if we had it in time. So it's not that hard to go find this clip and just trim it to the short. What was this clip like 30 seconds?
Give or take. He trimmed it. Yeah.
So, I mean, that wouldn't have been hard to get to us at all. We could put it on that screen. So that is our dream and vision of where we want this to go eventually, is get it all. We had some good stuff we shared on the screen, don't get me wrong, but it's bummer when afterwards you see that we had clips from some other people that were in that top 10 or were, you know, top youth or whatever we could have used.
And this is a cool clip here from Jeff. You know, Jeff's always filming, but this is
not real.
I love this. Look at that. Deep, he hammered that hook set really good. Another good.
This is an awesome net.
Smallmouth.
It's one of my favorite.
That was some good rod control. Yeah, this is a great net job.
And Jeff is notorious for the spinning rod. He loves spinning rods.
Just that perfect amount of line out. You know, you could just reel up just another 6 inches. You just had to have that perfect amount.
The scoop and score.
Yeah, that was a nice, right in the net. Swish.
16 anyways.
16 and a half, I think, is what that one ended up being, right?
Which, you know, 16 and a half, so you needed those fish in this tournament. You needed those,
that's
you
good first
what Jeff
fish.
does here, and that's why I'm going to let this clip play, is he goes over, he pulls somewhere safe.
Oh, smart.
And he measures it.
Yep.
On the bank.
Yep, and measures it standing up, which we allow. You can be out of your kayak to measure
And
the fish.
he's keeping it in the water for those who are like, "Where's the fish?" He's got it in the net just to keep it,
Right.
safe. He gets the board ready.
This is great.
Takes a picture.
This is great, man.
And lets it go. So pretty simple.
That's awesome.
Figured this out yesterday.
That's how to do it right there. I'm sure he'll have a video out of his whole experience as well.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that.
No doubt. What do we got next?
Let's mix it up and let's watch our winners clip. This is his 21
Oh, yeah.
Look at that thing.
Look at that.
Giant.
21-incher Kayak Adventure Series, Riverfest, Wisconsin.
You know, I can't.
That's an old smallmouth.
That was cool. And it looked like he used the GoPro quick app to make that too. That's cool. You know, I can't say this for a fact, but because he's spot locked right there, it looked like it came off the head of the island.
He's not spot locked. He's actually anchored.
He's anchored. Okay, well, either way, it looks like he came off the head of the island. That looks juicy right there. I will say that.
Yeah.
Some matted up trash too. I mean, that looks pretty primo.
He actually told the story about this fish. He said what he was doing was he was fishing like some of these sandbar drops, and he looked over and saw a bunch of schooling smallmouth, and so he flipped his bait in there. Like he was using a little creature bait, I think is what he said, Texas rig, which isn't typically what you think you would throw into a school of smallmouth. But he said he threw it in there, and this one ate. So it's kind of those fish that you could almost argue this is one he probably didn't really expect to catch, and he caught it, and it was a game changer. Yeah,
I'm gonna pull up JT's comment here. It's a good comment. It's something we have talked about in the off season a little bit. Well, here, do you want to finish that clip? It looks like it's
no, we watched it all.
Okay,
I scrolled back.
He's saying, there wasn't a lot of time to edit a clip and get to the awards. Most of us were an hour or more north. That's true. It's tricky. That's why I think that emphasizes the importance of getting one good clip if you can on Friday. After, you fish on Friday, if you happen to get a good one. If you don't get a better one on Saturday, at least you can, boom, get that one clip to us on Friday. Because we don't have to show the biggest fish of each person. But if someone's on stage, we have at least one clip from them. That'd be awesome. And then the other thing it shows, because think about the GoPro. Now, obviously, if you're riding with a teammate or something, it's easier because you can take the GoPro on your phone, open that quick app up, just skim through and find it and click trim, 30 seconds, export it right to your phone, and then go right to the KAS website through your phone and send it to us. Boom. I know, but JT's alone. He was driving alone. It's not that easy, but we do. Lines out is at 3 and our awards don't start till 6. So even if you're an hour away, even if you have 30 minutes to get to the ramp, then you got to load up and it takes you 2 hours to get there. Man, if you just
bring your SD card. I can get it off in like 20 seconds with the strategy we have, which is basically like we pull it off, you show me the clip, we trim it. We don't trim the actual clip, we trim it on the computer. I export it to our quote hard drive, and then I give you the SD card back and nothing changes.
Yeah.
So
it is tough though. JT's point is noted, and I don't know how we can help solve that, whether we, push the awards, one more hour further or something, I don't know. But some people may not like that too, that are going to try to leave after the awards that day to head home. But we have our awards on Saturday for a reason. So people hopefully don't head home. They stick around and are there the whole time and go to the after party if they still have energy, and then sleep in the next day on Sunday. So yeah, it's something we'll talk about, JT. How can we solve that? I think as people learn how to use that GoPro and get those clips off and trim them, it's going to be easier and easier and quicker for you guys, knowing that we just need one 30-second clip, just one. But yeah, it's a good point he brings up. This is a cool shot of
pretty fixed shots. It's real golden. When we were filming this, we actually hit it just right. I think it's around 640, right before lines out. And this is Josh from Source Crate, and he's just fishing these lily pads here for largemouth.
Yeah. Fishing a lake with a crescent shoalie. It's working well. Look at that. It floats and fishes in a lake. Who knew?
Hey man, I've taken it on Possum Kingdom. Anything's possible.
Oh yeah, it's such a great lake boat as well. It just when we hype it up and promote it so hard for river fishing, and because it is so good at that, it really is. Some people just forget that it can also go in a lake and perform very well, especially when you put a motor on it. That kind of nullifies, the whole, of any boat. You can all of a sudden now just do what you want to do because your motor's controlling
I've had both motors on it.
Yep.
At the same time.
Yeah, that's a cool clip. And it just goes to show some of Lake Wisconsin, which we got some cool photos and clips from the Lake Wisconsin anglers, because there's plenty of anglers
that
did
to see
really
two
good.
more anglers here.
Yeah,
they did really well. One to our right fishing. Yep. So there was like a drain, like a creek channel that goes into the slough where Josh was kind of fishing like the mouth of it, sort of like the other side of it. But there's a slough over there, and then there's like a creek, and over to the right, a guy was fishing the creek. But then there's an also guy that we're going to see here who's literally fishing offshore.
Fishing offshore. I love it. We love to see this diversity. That's what the Kayak Adventure Series is all about. I loved seeing, I was like, I was flying the drone. I was like, is that a kayak angler out in the middle of the lake out there? Sure enough, I don't know if he was using live scope. Yeah. He was scoping probably. But either way, I can tell he's fishing the base of this buoy. You know what I mean? They put the big concrete blocks,
which has got to be the channel that runs into that slough. So he was fishing similar to the guy down a little bit. We'll see him when we flip around, I think.
Yeah, we have another clip of him. I know we flew the drone over him, but that was pretty cool seeing him out there fishing the area.
Pause it there. So he's got his power pole, it looks like.
Yep. He's loaded up. I don't know who this is, but it was really cool.
He's definitely live scoping. You can see
he's holding it. Holding his
so he was doing some offshore
sniper pole, whatever it is. So that's cool seeing all of the above used. And there's a lot of ways to skin a cat, as they say, and there's a lot of ways to catch a bass. That's why we love that fish so much. I mean, you can do so many things to catch this fish. They live deep, shallow, clear water, muddy water, vegetation, rocks, wood. And just you get to kind of choose your adventure, as we say, right, at the Kayak Adventure Series. So he was out there
for bear. He's got 2 power poles.
Yeah, he does. He's got dual power poles going.
That's sick.
I can't remember what that was.
New canoe.
I think it might have been that, or was in Old Town. I can't remember. Might be able to see when we get a little closer, but he was. No,
that's the end of it.
Oh, okay. Oh, there's another clip with him on there. But either way, we'll show the next one.
It up.
Show another one.
Let's go back to the river. And this is a little sneaky clip because we're actually following that guy. Then Drew's like, wait a second.
Yeah, I see.
This guy's got a fish on the shore.
There he is right there. Look at that, JT. And Brad, if you're watching still, Brad, send me a clip, dude. Send me one. Text it to me. I'll put it in the stream.
Oh, I've got one we can play of his.
Oh, you got one of his? Okay, we got that glide bait fish maybe or something.
Yep.
There you go. Look at that, JT with the release. And man, what a week it was for him. I mean, he's hardly caught smallmouth from, in his life from Indiana. He said he just wanted to go out there, and he on stage, he said, I just went Drew style, just kind of got rid of all the graphs and all that and just went fishing, and he just found them, man. I mean, JT, congrats. What a great event you had. I mean, 6th place, around all those anglers who were in the Wisconsin State Championship, the Badger State Championship and other national, hammers in this event. It was a really impressive finish, man. No offense, JT. I know you had just started catching smallmouth recently and focusing on them. I didn't expect you to finish 6th. I'll say that. So I was very impressed, man. Glad that it worked out. And
he caught that on. That's something we should talk about. He caught that on something that when you told me, he was like, "Yeah, he said he caught it on this." I was like, "No."
Yeah.
And then to prove it right, let's go back here. I want to pause right.
Yeah. You can see it right there.
So that is a white, I think it's a Savage Gear rat or the Spro rat, actually. Weight bait.
That's cool.
So he caught that on a rat right there along those bluffs.
I wonder if it came on the bluff or it came from under those trees or something down below or what. I mean, but that's wild.
But I don't know what it is about smallmouth. There's a lot of people around here who are big into the rats as well. And they have a lot of success with doing that. So
all right, well, there's Brad telling us he's forgot his camera on Thursday, so he didn't get the video of his biggest of the weekend, which sucks because it was on top water. But he's got quite a bit of clips. Here's one right here. I think it's when he's still on that chum glide, right? Or no, not chum. It was the Chad.
So this clip's funny because Matt's over there like, GoPro, stop recording.
Oh yeah.
Stop recording.
I think I got him. Yep.
Another bluff fish, looks like.
Yep, I got him. Oh my God. Shed fish, baby. There we go.
Look at that, dude.
Oh, wow.
Shed fish.
I love it. Brad wasn't playing around. He's like, I'm going big or going home. I'm either going to catch 17s and up or nothing. And he caught quite a few. They didn't actually end up with the correct identifier, or they forgot to put their code on or something. So they didn't even have any.
They didn't have a marker.
Yeah, they were just like, whatever. They're just there to have a good time. So that was cool. But let's see. JT did say he left us with a clip of a rat catch. Was that on the SD card?
He sent me the SD card one. I've got it in, so I can actually show that catch too if we want. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, no worries. We can play something else in the meantime.
Well, it should be right here. We're just gonna have to fast forward a bit.
Oh, is this like the thing? Oh, there you go. That's cool. Some of those drone shots, man.
Oh,
so
yeah,
cool.
we can look at some of these drone shots while we wait.
Yeah, because some of them are some areas that were different. There's the one of Josh. We have some other areas you guys haven't seen yet. And
so this is that same area where JT caught the one on the rat, just more of a zoomed out view. I'm trying to find the slough. Oh yeah, here. So,
I mean, this place was. Oh, look at that! That's such a cool shot. Now that we get to see it in action,
I'm gonna pause that actually because this is what I'm talking about. This is like the best angle. So like,
yeah.
Can you see my cursor? No. So where he's at right now, you can see how like the sandbar is creating like that, like a spooned out thing. That was the spots.
Like right on the drop off.
Right.
Like they are in lacrosse sometimes.
Coming through, and those fish would just sit in those pockets because they know that if anything comes scurrying off the sandbar into the water, guess what? Whoop, they're dead. Yep. Like easy meal. They don't have to work for it. It just comes to them. So.
Yep. Those sandbars and the sand islands are so cool. There's so many of them in this river, and it's just such an easy place to get out, stop, grab lunch, stretch your legs, whatever. I just love those sandbars, and it's just so unique. We even saw people watching the Packers game on Friday night, having a huge tent and a giant TV out there with a bunch of boats stacked up on the sandbar, right there in the middle of town, watching the Packers game, Eagles game. It was crazy. I was like, man, this is cool. They're all public. You can camp on them easily.
We drove by it, and I was like, hey, I think they're watching the football game. And Drew's like, really? I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure they're watching the football game out there.
So, yeah, that was cool. This creek that, Parker found himself in didn't turn out to be a winner. This is actually a good point, a good time to bring this up. It's like we talk about all the time. It's a risk reward, strategy. When you go to the smaller water you go to, whether it's a smaller pond or oxbow lake or creek like this, it's a big risk reward because there's not giant quantities of big fish. It's a teeny little creek, right? That big Wisconsin River, the main river's got tons of big fish. And you can find schools that have 10 fish that you catch 5 of them out of there and you can win the tournament. So on Friday, this is when we saw him here. He took a gamble and tried to go to a creek. It didn't work out. I'm sure he was just trying to get 1 or 2 good fish out of it and then go somewhere else on Saturday. But it just goes to show how risky a gamble the small, skinny water that, I'm kind of known for, some other river anglers, Parker, maybe Steve Baker, they had these inflatables. They're guys that are known to explore. Tim Perkins. We have lots of guys, that do this style. Dustin Hoy gives that kind of stuff a shot sometimes, but doesn't always work. And just imagine a creek that size if another angler showed up on tournament day, 2 or 3 anglers showed up and they all found the same thing. Nobody's catching anything. There's Cole. He's got a shoalie there. Look at that. Nice. Rigging it up with that Newport. This is some Bass U brunch footage here this is when Josh Shrenko kicked it off. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Learned some stuff. I think you guys did. Josh had a talk with Jeff Little, myself, Christine Fisher.
So do we want to look at some more drone footage? What do you want to look here?
Yeah, whatever else we got. Drone footage catches. Let's see. Yeah, he had no idea what the depth was, JT saying.
So this is some more of those backwater sloughs. And since the tournament's over, I can actually talk about this a little bit. I'm not going to say the name of these backwaters, but it was crazy because these like mouths of these creeks and backwaters had smallmouth in them. Like these smallmouth were behaving a lot like largemouth, and the reason why they're able to do that is there's just so much current coming out of these. And this is more main island here. We've moved out a little bit, but just kind of crazy just how much water was in bounds. Like I know a lot of people were like, oh man, there's gonna be so many people at the launches, and I'm like, yeah, but like once you get out there, it's like
it's like the Susquehanna. It's so wide, and there's so many different patterns and things that are happening, whether it's a sandbar, wood, vegetation, largemouth, smallmouth, bluff walls. I mean, we had dams, we had creeks like this. This is just
this is what I was talking about. So I fished this. I caught a 20-inch largemouth out of it, and I also caught darn near another 20-inch smallmouth out of it. So
it was just,
and I also lost a big smallmouth while on the phone with Drew in the same.
Yep. Elvis was talking about how the smallmouth eats a rat. They usually pull the rear of your rat underwater and spin it around and headshot it. That's cool. And then JT was saying that Christine mentioned waking the bait, in the Bass U brunch, and that's why she tied it on. She mentioned a wake bait. So what about, I wonder if JT can chime in if he's here still. Like, was it off that bluff wall or is it somewhere else? I'm curious if that was a bluff fish or a kind of it most likely was. He's right by the bluffs, but maybe not, because the bluff is deep. That's why I'm wondering, like, was that fish a shallow eater in like 15 foot of water on the bluff? You know what I'm saying? It looks like that's got to be pretty deep there. And that's what Brad had on too, on a bluff, but it was shallow. That bait, the Chad, I don't think goes very deep. So be interesting to see what they say to that. So we went, this was such a cool area, man. It's all so cool. I mean, this
is where you caught your only fish.
Yeah, it's true. I got my only fish. I didn't even get on the water while I was there. I was so jealous. I was so bummed. I was so busy just getting everything ready for everyone with you. And one day we tried to drive around and find some spots to kind of put in. Just nothing really was right. But we were trying to stay way, way far away from the water that everyone was fishing. So that kind of...
Those are sand cranes right there.
Oh, yeah, that's so cool.
Look at them running.
They're all huddling up there.
They're like, what is that?
See, it's like all the sand. There's that bluff up there. You just get bluff and you get some docks. You get some sloughs. I was so jealous, man.
It's a good thing you took your
Nick Burns
drone.
Is in now.
It's a good thing you got your drone pilot's license.
Yeah, absolutely. Good thing I got it just in time. Hey, Nick's saying he's off work for Broodstock. Nick, you got to come, dude. It's going to be epic. And you'll be so much of a better angler. I know he travels a little bit already, but it's just cool when you get to go explore like new places, and it helps you become a better angler and learn. And there's great fishing there. I think it would fit your style really well based on what we saw. So congrats on a great finish. And it's just cool to see people starting to realize that it's worth traveling to the places we're sending you. You may not hit pay dirt like JT did, who never has, fished that area and was from, there's a lot of people that didn't fish the area. Actually, if you look at the top 10, if you go to our recap article, I have it listed here, the top 10, I was actually surprised. And this is an impressed, and this is an encouraging thing for Nick and anyone from Wisconsin that wants to come to Broodstock, or anyone from any other state that's never fished those waters. First place, Minnesota. Second place, Wisconsin. Third place, Nebraska. Fourth place, Minnesota. Fifth place, Minnesota. Sixth place, Indiana. Seventh place, Illinois. Eighth place, Wisconsin. Ninth place, Wisconsin. 10th place, Illinois. This was not a Wisconsin dominated, like a home water kind of dominated tournament. And that just goes to show you that when you put so much water in bounds, that even the hometown anglers haven't fished all of that in bounds at the same time. So they don't know necessarily where it's going to go down at, and anybody could win. That's that cool shot. Well, did we see what kayak that was?
It was a Jackson.
It's a Jackson. Okay. It might be like a big rig or something. That's cool. So I want to see more folks getting into even the live scoping stuff. If that's there's your fish. That's their pleasure, because they have it all to themselves in the kayak adventure series. Whoa, what a giant.
Micro bagging.
Yeah, you were micro bagging.
I'm beating John in his own game.
Brad says he's coming for Broodstock, only 3.5 hours from him. He's been wanting to hit the Barron and Green River for a while.
Dang.
Look at that. Well, how long was that one?
Like it was a lot longer than you'd expect, like 8-9 inches. It was maybe even longer.
Yeah.
I caught one prior to this that was like in that like 6 range.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, there's got to be more. I actually titled that clip "I Found the Nursery."
So I'm trying to think what else we haven't really shown that we. Do we have any clips from?
I know I have JT's catch somewhere. I'm just trying to find it.
Oh, I wonder if. No, I don't have that SD card in here. Well, either way, we'll probably eventually use it. Let me pull up. I'll share Christine's catch from Instagram. You know what I mean? I'll pull that up and we'll at least share that one because she did post it to Instagram and it was really cool.
Yeah. I have a clip of me catching that big smallmouth, but I think I might say something bad in it, so maybe we won't play that one.
You could mute the audio. Let's share her Instagram here and let's click on this reel. You guys may not have audio.
No, we have audio. It's good.
Oh, nice. Hit right at the boat. You see that?
You're so calm, but yet not at the same time.
Wow.
20.5 incher. Yes. GoPro, look at that, you guys. Giant.
Yeah, that's cool. So anyway,
Cool. Is she throwing pop water there, or is it a weight?
No, that was some sort of I don't know what you said. I thought it was like a plastic. That was like a plastic. Honestly,
it's like she was pulling it out of the water. And just
yeah, it was almost like she was pulling out and just swimming it right back to the boat, and it hit. So I don't know.
Yeah, and it's crazy how many people knew exactly where she was fishing. I know where she's at now.
20.5 incher.
And there's a lot of big fish in that area. That's why so many
look at that, you guys.
checks were cashed in that spot. So
yeah, I have no idea where she was, but it sounds like you're saying there was a lot of people that did well in that area. So hot spot for sure. But
so this is a cool clip that I took, and I wasn't in the tournament. But what I did here, I'm gonna just kind of skim through it. I'm on a sandbar. And this is one of those like drop offs. You can see there's like some swift current coming to the right. And I just kind of like plant my motor down in the sandbars. And I'm just fishing this hole. You can see the current just kind of trickling through on the right. I'm just fishing this drop off in this hole because it was a nice hole because there's wood there. You know, you can see the wood. There's current moving by. I don't know if I skip forward too much or not. Oh, yeah. So I think it's a pike right here. I'm like, oh, that's pike. Because all I saw was its belly when it jumped. I just thought it was a little pike. But it turns out to be a pretty nice smallmouth. We'll just fast forward here.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just thought that this one's cool because it kind of shows you just like how those sandbars set up. Because like I'm not moving. I'm not anchored. I'm just stuck in the sand. You know?
Right.
It was honestly kind of a benefit, the sand.
Yeah, it was. It's kind of cool.
Oh, there we go. So, it was a nice chunky one.
Oh, Nick's saying, yeah, we showed yours earlier, Nick. We showed your catch. It was cool, man. It was one of the first catches we showed. It was awesome.
We can watch it again. Let's watch it again since he's
watch
here.
it again while he's on. Yeah, it was cool. It was worth watching again. That jump was really awesome. He did a good edit. He cropped it in, zoomed in to see the jump, and kind of slow-moed it. It was really nice. Nicely done. I mean, you're just seeing fish come off of so many different kind of banks. Like, I think he just got bit right there. He kind of leaned forward and then boom.
Yeah, I think he was waiting for the fish to recommit.
Yeah, just double. Yep, look at that. That's what it's all about. Right there.
Looks like that rod had the perfect action to keep him in.
I'm curious if Nick can maybe chime in. Did you hit your release on your spool, release your bail when that happened, or did you loosen your drag? Or once they get downstream in that swift current, what's your strategy? Or was it like one big single hook and you just weren't worried about that fish coming off, even pulling it
back
upstream? Yeah, that's awesome. Because I typically will like for his motor might be spot lock, but if I can, I'll unspot lock. But I don't really use with my Torpedo. I'll just turn it off and drift down with the fish. I don't want to bring a fish up current if I don't have to. So worked out for him, but that does look pretty swift there. And if you have heavy line and a single hook, you can typically still bring them up current. But I just hate doing it.
Elvich just said he was surprised how little northern pike were in this section of the river. But honestly, like I know a lot of people were complaining about pike. I ran into a ton of pike. It's just not the. It was definitely less than La Crosse, though. I'll give it that. La Crosse has a lot more pike, I've noticed. So.
Right. Well, you find certain sections and they just where they don't like to be and focus on those. And yeah, that's what he said. He said he clicked his drag down a bit, turned his prop off button so I can drift. Yeah, that's exactly the right move. You just quickly, once you see they're big and they're heading downstream, like, oh shoot, better turn that motor off and drift down with them. And I hit my release so I can just, feather the spool if I need to and give them some line as I just drift down and kind of follow them.
Yeah.
But sometimes, I'll say this, I have a fish that I lost on the Susky. I don't want to show it because I don't want to give away a landmark, but dude, it was a giant and it jumped just like that and was coming right at me in that current. And I should have swung it and boat flipped it right there in there that moment. Cause I did the whole release to bail, downstream, and it got off because that makes the fight go so much longer now. Cause I'm just, following them downstream and they're still twisting, turning, shaking their head, jumping, and he got off. And I wish I would have, cause it had to come right by my boat. It was right ahead of me, straight ahead of me. He came right at me. I should have boat flipped him. But yeah, this was a cool venue. Thank you to the community there of Sauk Prairie for having us. It was awesome. As you can see that our the brewery right there, Vintage Brewing, was a great place for opening ceremonies check-in, and it was just perfect.
This was by far my favorite. Like, all the cities have been great, but like I really just liked this one. Like, there was just something about it. It's like right there on the river. You can see the wedding going right there.
That one guy's like, look at him.
Oh, there's the bride.
Yep, there they are. They wave at the very end. I was trying to get them to wave.
We should sell them this footage.
Well, yeah, we should. I mean, if they would have waved, it would have been a little bit better. Done something. Right at the end, she pulls up her hand and waves. But as we zoom around here to the festival, it was definitely cool to see everyone just hanging out, having fun, playing the games, doing the bounce house. We showed this clip at the very beginning. We'll end on some more, some footage of this. But yeah, just having fun. Everyone was inside the pizzeria and bowling alley, eating food, having drinks, checking out kayaks, doing demos. We saw some demos, checking out the Toyota trucks right there from Smart Toyota. Appreciate those guys from Madison, that dealership, bringing those, and this one showed off a little bit more. I think of we're getting better and better. The anglers are getting better. They're filming more clips. We're getting better with getting out there and covering the anglers and figuring out how to do that. We're getting better at the awards, you and Billy and myself kind of getting all that dialed in.
I'm trying
Everything's
to find
getting better.
Brad asked if anyone was fishing this area, and I could have swore we got a clip of someone fishing under the bridge there.
I never flew it, the drone. We were still setting up. I didn't have it. It was still during lines out time. Like, he was still fishing, and we were busy trying to set up. I never got a chance to fly it over him, but there was someone there fishing in that area. So I don't know who it was. It looked like they were. I don't know.
Yeah, there was a couple. I saw multiple kayaks go by during setup.
Mm-hmm.
There's a good shot of our outside.
Yeah, it's kind of what it looked like there. And we had our shirts and our backdrop. It was cool. But I appreciate you guys all, coming to the event, having a good time, sharing it. Don't forget at Kayak Adventure Series and at GoPro on any of your clips from this event, but anytime, just when you're fun fishing, just tag us and tag GoPro. And GoPro is going to give away $1,000 and give away a new Hero 13 Black to the person they choose at the end of the year. So there's one of the best clips they pick, right? They're just going to pick one. So it doesn't even have to be during our events. Just tag us and tag them anytime. Fun fishing. Just get a cool clip and we'll give one away and $1,000. So can't complain one bit about that. But we want any more clips you guys have and pictures. We'll still throw them up in the galleries. But yeah, anything else you want to close on?
No, I think I showed a lot of the stuff. I think we saw a good variety
Yeah.
We got tons more. It's just we'd do this all day, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, we could. But good time. Thanks to everyone for coming out. We'll see you at Broodstock. It's gonna be a good time. October 4th and 5th. We'll get into more of that next week, I'm sure. And can't wait. It's gonna be fun. Catch you guys on the next live. See ya.
See ya.